Okay, hi there. Welcome back to another CookAlong Live. This week we're going to make a red pepper soup, all in our air fryer. So to start off, all you're going to do is you're going to cut your tomatoes into quarters, then chuck it into your air fryer basket. With your air fryer basket, just make sure we take out the crispy tray. So you're just gonna quarter. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter how it all goes in because it's gonna get blitzed at the end anyway. So just chuck it all in. On top of the tomatoes, you're going to add in 4 red peppers. You're just going to go around the red pepper, making sure we don't include the seeds, but we just get the flesh. And then obviously just put it into your food waste. And you're kind of just, again, chucking them in. So once you're gonna put all 4 in. This recipe should take about 15 minutes to prep, 20 minutes to cook. So it's about a half an hour recipe. It's a good one that you can just leave whilst you do other stuff. This is a first for me, cutting or making a soup in an air fryer. We're kind of always caught in the middle of using the air fryer for, like chips and stuff like that, but we don't actually ever kind of really utilize our air fryer to the best that we can. So that's why it's always quite handy to actually have different recipes on hand that we can do to help us get to grips with using an air fryer. So as I say, just cutting up roughly our pepper. If you've got a large air fryer like I've got, you might only need 1 tray or 1 air fryer tray. If you don't and you have a smaller one, then you can just put it across the 2 trays if you've got a 2 tray one. Alternatively, this can get done on the hob as well. All these recipes that we're doing in this series can get done the traditional ways on the hob. It doesn't have to get done in the air fryer, but this makes it just quicker. It's all about convenience. If you want to make sure we're cooking healthy food, but in a convenient kind of manner, then air fryer is a way to go. We want to be quick. We want to have it to be quick, but we also want it to be healthy and cooked from scratch. Okay, so once you've put your peppers in, you're going to put your onion in. Again, it doesn't really matter how much we do or how rough the chopping is, because it will get blitzed down after. Just make sure to peel your onion before you cut it. This is a really hard onion to peel. There we go. Cool. Okay, so just slice it up. And then just put it all in. and then chuck it all in to your air fryer. So on your air fryer basket, we have our tomatoes, we have our pepper, and we have our onion. To this, you're just going to add some olive oil. Just mix it all around, and then you're going to pop it in. This time, if your air fryer has a bake, if your air fryer has a bake function on it, I would put it onto bake for 15 minutes. So you put it onto bake for 15 minutes at 180 degrees. Alternatively, if you don't have, so 180, 15 minutes. Alternatively, if you don't have an air fryer, then you can put it into the oven at 200 degrees, just to oven bake. Make sure it's obviously in an oven-proof dish, and then chuck it all in. You're kind of just making sure it's a roasted. You kind of want to roast your veg. What else that's in? There's nothing else really you need to prep. Your veg obviously is going to roast for about 15 minutes. Once 50 minutes is up, we're going to get 800 mils of boiling water. You're going to put a veg stock cube to kind of stir it in. Then we're going to add our pesto and our garlic paste. If you want, and you want to make it a little bit more spicy or got a kick to it, you can add Tabasco sauce as well. I don't have Tabasco, so I'm not going to add it in, obviously. But that is an additional thing that you can add in. And that's about it. So let's leave this for about 10 minutes, and I'll come back and we'll do our next part of the recipe. Okay, so that is the 15 minutes up for the baking. Okay, so it should be nice and soft. You can kind of season it with salt and pepper if you want. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put into a jug, you're going to fill up a jug with 800 mils of boiling water. And you're going to add a veg stock pot. Again, you can use a veg stock cube if you have that instead. It doesn't really matter. So just chuck that in. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to stir it. And then what you're going to do, once the stock cube is it's all dissolved, you're going to add 1 tablespoon of pesto. Into the stock. If you want to add a little bit more, feel free. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add the stock into the basket. And then just stir it all up. And then you're going to cook it again. You're going to cook it for just another 5 minutes. Now you can air fry it or cook it this time. Again, if you're using an oven, it would just be Put stock into the oven-proof dish, put it back in. What I would do is I would probably cover it with tin foil, then put it back into the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes. This really just lets the flavours kind of come out of the pesto, of the stock, with the veg. Once that's done, what you're going to do is you're going to take out the soup, you're going to put it into a heat-proof dish or a bowl. You're going to blitz it up so it's a smooth soup, and then it's ready to serve. It is that simple. Soups don't have to be hard, especially when we're coming into the winter months, or past the summer anyway. What we want really quick, easy to make soup recipes. This is one of the easiest ones that we probably could make. If you like tomato soup, then it's kind of on that same par. The pesto gives it a bit of a nice kick, and it gives you a nice flavour as well, with the cheese in it and kind of the nutty tomato taste. We've got a couple more minutes for this. Like I said last week, this dish just came from this air fryer book, the One Basket Meal book. We are going to try and have our recipes, kind of a recipe book, available on our website that you can kind of go through, and it has all of it there. But at the moment on our website we have our CookAlong Live page that has all our recipes along with videos, and a link to our playlist that has all the videos that we've made via CookAlong Live, whether it be in 2025 or back in 2020 when the COVID pandemic started and we went on live with CookAlong with Carrie. So we've got all our videos there. There's a huge amount of resource on our website that has from recipes, to weaning, to information about fats, sugar, salt. It's all there. Should you need any more help, at the Penny Pit are always here to help you. Feel free to get in touch and we'll see what we can do. These recipe bags are in Wallingford via our Wallingford Community Centre partners, in Chinent, and in our Preston Pans pantry. I've kind of reminded on our pantry that it's open 11 till 1 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Saturday. And you may have seen the news a couple of weeks ago that we've just secured our funding for 3 years for that pantry service, which we can't thank the Robson Trust enough for. This also comes with a financial inclusion worker, which will help our Penny Pit services a lot. So we'll wait. We've got maybe 1 minute or so left on the air fryer. What we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to try and find a heat-proof jug or a bowl, then we can start to look at how we're going to blitz it. Also, what I kind of forgot to add in just when I was cleaning up, I saw it, is our garlic puree. So what I would do is when you put the pesto in the stock cube in, put the garlic puree in as well. That'll just allow it to kind of get the flavour. I have put it in now. It's maybe a little bit too late, but it's in. It might look a little bit watery. This is just because obviously the air fryer's cannot same the hob where you would just kind of reduce it down a little bit. The air fryer doesn't really have that capacity, so it might look a little bit watery, but it won't taste that watery. I promise. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're now going to just pour this carefully into the heat-proof bowl. It's back in here. It smells so good. And then what we're going to do now is we're just going to blitz it. What I would say with this is obviously just start small blitzing at a time, so you don't make it squirt everywhere, because there's nothing worse than tomato all over the walls and stuff. So slow and steady. It might look a bit watery. If it is watery, you can just put it back on. Depends. I know some people like their soups kind of more watery texture than thick. Again, if you don't, no, you would end up having quite big stuff in. But if you don't want it to be really, really smooth, because again, that's a texture that some people don't like, then you can kind of put by there. So yeah, just blitz it up. I mean, you'll see that that's it kind of done. Now that was a really quick recipe for a really tasty red pepper soup. Next week, come back and find out what we're going to be cooking. Another tasty recipe for our CookAlong Live sessions. If you do like these sessions, please do get in touch and let us know, as we'd love to hear your feedback. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week for our next session together. Tuesday, 4 o'clock. See you then. Right, okay.